Hey everyone, this is a really cool conversation which we just had with Life and Money, and it was really focused on charity versus success. Are you able to give away your wealth? Are you able to give away money? Are you able to give away your time or your brand and reputation while you're still building up your wealth? Can you really help others and help yourself at the same time? Really powerful conversation, and it was really beneficial as well. Some of the key points which we really took over were, what does success really mean? And what's the difference between being generous versus being selfless? And what does it actually mean to be selfish versus just taking care of yourself and your family? There are some really tough questions. We dived into how you clarify whether or not it's a charity which is worthwhile supporting. Looking at how you choose to give your money. Do you buy from businesses who don't align with your values? Do you spend more to buy from businesses that do align with your values? How do you choose charities? Should we choose charities based on how we emotionally connect with whatever the problem is that they're trying to solve? Or do we support charities based on what's actually causing the greatest challenge to society? And so one participant mentioned breast cancer, for example. Breast cancer has a relatively low mortality rate, and it's pretty easy to pick up on. And if someone were to have breast cancer, they can probably survive without being too damaging to their life or to the lives of others. However, we feel more called and more pulled towards supporting breast cancer because most people know someone who's had it. And most people can very visibly see the impact of having to go through an operation off the back of that. And so more people support them, more people focus on them, more people put money towards it, and then that drops the mortality rate even lower. And then it turns out that we don't even need to focus on it anymore, right? Or anywhere near as much compared to other issues which might be present. And so do you support lots of charities or only the ones that you specifically care about? Do you start giving when you're really young? That was a challenging one. Do you start giving when you're struggling with money? Is it better for a billionaire to give $1 million? Or for someone who only has $50,000 to just give $20,000 or $30,000? Which one's more generous? Which one means more? Which one's more charitable? What do you define as the qualities of someone who is generous versus a philanthropist or versus someone who gives a lot of money? Do you need to achieve financial independence first, or is this something your generosity spirit perhaps? Or is it your sense of character and your style of being and who you are and your identity? Is that something which needs to grow first from being generous and then you build the money skills after? Or should you build up your money skills and be like Sir John Templeton, who said, I'm going to spend the first 50% of my life building up all my wealth and the next 50% giving it all away? What if he gets hit by a bus? What if he doesn't make it to his full life expectancy? What if his life expectancy changes? Can he still give all of his money away? So do we just leave all our money in our wills and in our estate? And then how much do we leave to our kids versus to charity? Or to other family members? So it's a really interesting topic. And then we also even touched on ethical and impact investing versus investing to be able to make more money. Do you invest to make as much money as possible in order to give money to charities you care about? Or when you're investing, should you only be going into ethical and impact and environmentally sustainable options? What's most important to you? So that's what we spoke about. And it's worthwhile noting that I actually had a podcast on this specific topic with Sarah Page. She found herself in a very depressed state, which you'll be able to hear about, and found that she was able to find a lot of joy in her life through giving and be able to find a lot of love for life through being able to take care of others. And then that meant that she even had more love for her family as well. And so she found that she was a much better person through doing that, and she founded a charity off the back of it. So if you're curious, search for Success with Purpose, Sarah Page. You can find it on YouTube or anywhere that you listen to your podcast. And then we have some other events which are coming up. So in next fortnight, how to use meditation to find peace and calm in a restless world. We just finished our most recent meditation mastermind. Amazing. And so I'll be sharing some info or some guidance as well. And I'll guide the participants through a meditation. on ultimately how to use meditation, how to make the most of meditation in your life. They're really powerful. We're in a restless world, and this will be exceptionally valuable to be able to explore. And then I'll also be running a session a fortnight later on how to move towards financial independence, even when cash flow is tight. So you might have a really high income, but really high expenses. You might have a low income and still have high expenses or relatively high expenses. Well, all that really matters is when our cash flow is tight, when we have lots of expenses relative to how much we earn and how much we own. Can we still move towards financial independence, and how do we do it? Of course you can. I'm a financial advisor and work with mostly people in their late 20s to their 40s. I can guarantee that you can. You just need to know some of the ways to do it. So there, I'll be happy to help out. And then we'll be having a session on how to find purpose in your career, powerful conversation. And then, of course, starting a business. What do you need to know when you're starting a business? And my business partner, Tristan, will be running that session. It'll be awesome. So if any of those interest you, then be sure to check those out. But otherwise, hopefully, just this recap and this summary of what we spoke about with being successful versus being charitable or generous. What does that actually mean? And the answer is you can and probably should build your wealth while you're giving to others, because that will give you the joy that you're going to have in life. Giving will usually bring a lot more joy. And if you think about the people who are most generous in your life, or the people that you know who are the most generous, they tend to be rather happy and have good experiences of life as well. At least relative to those who hoard everything for themselves and just keep it all close to themselves. So if you have any thoughts, I welcome you to share it. But for now, and until I next see you at one of our events, I hope that this has been helpful. Speak soon.